To all my disciples, I give you this as a boon. I'll swallow everything with which you are stuck and liberate you all. The moment you decide, your consciousness is the supreme identity you have. You will not empower your depression, your frustration, deal your problems, whether it is simple headache or depression, or the worst suicidal patterns, or life negativity, only through consciousness. Don't go for any other solution. Don't keep stupid, toxic, life negative struggles inside.
Nithyananda everyone, welcome back to the Bhavasamadhi Darshan. Now we'll look into the current state of the world as revealed with Devi Parashakti. So the authorities in various countries and territories have reported around more than 500 million COVID-19 cases and around 6 million deaths since China reported its first case to the World Health Organization in December of 2019. Also, people infected with the COVID-19 are at increased risk of developing heart conditions. Up to a year later, the Pan American Health Organizations have warned that millions of children have fallen behind on routine immunizations during the pandemic, causing outbreaks of diseases such as measles and the diphtheria in Latin America and the Caribbean. Also, many doctors believe it's possible to have long-term effects from the Omicron variant of the virus. A lot of people who catch the coronavirus remain ill for the extended period. An estimated 10 to 40% later suffer from the long COVID. Also, the Delta variant has become more dominant and displaced Alpha in the summer of 2021. It managed to do so because it was between 40 to 60% more transmissible. Now the Omicron variant is even more transmissible than Delta. In comparison with the original strain of SARS-CoV-2, Omicron contains 72 mutations throughout its genome. Omicron is often able to evade existing immunity long enough to start an infection, cause symptoms, and transmit onward to the next person. This explains why reinfections and the vaccine breakthrough infections seems to be more common with the Omicron. Also, many around the world are pinning their hopes on vaccine, but even that is not a quick fix. Also, that some people may not be willing to be vaccinated. Even if someone is vaccinated, scientists do not yet know whether it is possible that they could get the virus and spread it, even if they don't get sick themselves. UK recently announced that it had identified a new strain of coronavirus that appears to be 70% more infectious than the old strain. The new study says 1 in 10 Australian healthcare workers has had the thought of suicide or self-harm during the pandemic. Healthcare workers in Somalia suffer from the high rates of anxiety, depression, and stress because of their work with the COVID-19 cases. Initial findings recorded a high prevalence of anxiety in the workforce at the 69.3%, 46% for depression, and 15% for the stress. The head of the World Health Organization, WHO, said that it would be dangerous to assume that highly transmissible Omicron was the last variant to emerge, and that the world is in the end game of the pandemic. Since Omicron was first identified a little over 10 weeks ago, more than 80 million cases had been reported to United Nations agencies, more than were reported in the whole of 2020. The conditions are ideal for more variant to emerge. WHO epidemiologist and technical lead on COVID-19, Dr. Maria stressed that the pandemic is far from over and the future variants will be in some way more virulent than Omicron is now. They warn that the next variant could more easily evade immunity, rendering vaccines less effective. They caution that there is no guarantee that coronavirus will get weaker as it evolves, and that although we might hope that it's the case, we cannot bank on it. The WHO chief said that the impact will be felt among most vulnerable groups, and longer the pandemic drags on, the impact would be worse. WHO had warned that as the virus evolves, vaccines may need to evolve as well. The variants of SARS-CoV-2 may continue to escape neutralizing antibodies induced by the vaccines against the prior variant. Crushing fatigue, brain fog, trouble breathing weeks after contracting COVID-19. Scientists call it post-acute sequel of COVID-19. Also, the new research suggests that coronavirus can invade and destroy the placenta and lead to stillbirths in infected women. It is an uncommon outcome for the pregnancy, but women with COVID-19 face an elevated risk. Researchers in 12 countries, including the United States, analyzed placental and autopsy tissue from 64 stillbirths and 4 newborn who died shortly after birth. More shocking result was the placenta that was infected and extensively destroyed. Many of these cases had over 90% of placenta destroyed. Also, World Health Organization said that it is premature for any country to for any country either to surrender or declare the victory. This virus is dangerous and continues to evolve before our very eyes. WHO is currently tracking 4 sublineages of Omicron variant, including BA2. The comment comes BA2 version of Omicron begins to replace the more common original BA1 version in many countries. And it has been speculated that BA2 is even more transmissible than BA1. In Denmark, BA2 is spread about 1.5 times quicker than BA1. And it is already known that the original Omicron, BA1, is itself more transmissible than prior variants like Delta and Alpha. So also research has found that BA2 is more transmissible than BA1, and the study of 8,500 households and 18,000 individuals conducted by Denmark's SSI found that BA2 was substantially more transmissible than BA1. The study showed evidence to suggest that BA2 subvariant is better able to evade vaccines. A separate UK study also found higher transmissibility for BA2 compared to BA1. But the preliminary assessment found no evidence that vaccines would be any less effective against symptomatic disease for either subvariant. Also, the fast spreading and heavily mutated Omicron variant has rapidly become the dominant variant worldwide since it was detected first. In its weekly report, the World Health Organization said that the variant, which accounts for over 93% of all coronavirus specimens collected in the past month, counts several sublineages. Also, the Omicron has been found to cause reinfection in an individual. The finding come from a large continuing study. React swab testing reveals that people more likely to catch COVID again. They include healthcare workers and households with the children or a lot of members under one roof. The latest finding for the first 2 weeks of 2022, based on about 100,000 polymerase chain reactions, about 4,000 were positive. By far the highest rate seen since the pandemic began. And when a selection of them were sequenced to check what type of COVID was to blame, virtually all were Omicron. Also, the report says that the SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes COVID-19 can infect a person for more than 200 days in an atypical case, the recent study has detected. The study served as an alert regarding the risk of limiting quarantine for COVID-19 patients to 7, 10, or even 14 days after they test positive, as initially prescribed by protocols to combat the disease. About 8% of people infected by SARS-CoV-2 may be able to transmit the virus for more than 2 months without necessarily manifesting any symptoms during the final stage of infection. So now we'll look into one of the video where Devi Parashakti gives us the 8 ways to protect ourselves from the COVID pandemic. So let us listen to this video.
Parashodasi Meenakshi, Parameshwari Meenakshi, Parashakti Meenakshi, இங்கு எழுந்து அருளினோம் எல்லோர்க்கும் ஞானமும் தன்மையும் தந்திட நன்மையெல்லாம் அளித்திட நாமே வந்தோம் இங்கு கைலாசத்தின் சுவாமினியாய் பரமசிவன் கிரகத்திருந்து நம் அனுக்கிரகத்தினால் நித்யானந்தன் விக்கிரகமாய் மலர்ந்தோம். உங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் நல்லதை செய்திட நன்மையை சொல்லிட தர்மார்த்த காம மோக்ஷம் எனும் புருஷார்த்தங்கள் நாளும் பொங்கி மலர்ந்திட வந்தேன் இங்கு. மாந்தர்கள் கொடுந்தொற்று கொரோனா கண்டு அஞ்ச வேண்டாம். 8 வழியின் மூலமாகவும் எண்ணத்தில் தியானித்து என்னை பிரார்த்தித்தல் 1, சமூக வலைதளங்கள் மூலமாய் என்னை சரணடைதல் 2, எங்கெல்லாம் என் மகமாரி வடிவத்தில் நான் குடிகொண்டிருக்கின்றேனோ அங்கெல்லாம் பூமிதித்து என்னை வழிபடுவது 3, நெஞ்சில் மஞ்சள் தடவி வேப்பம் சாரருந்தி தினந்தோறும் என்னை தியானிப்பது 4, நிர்விகல்ப நிலையிருந்து நித்யானந்தத்தை நிறைத்து உயிர்வது 5, சிவ 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 எனும் பிரபஞ்ச பெரும் நாதத்தை அஜபா ஜபமாய் நிகழ்த்தல் 6, நிறைவான பூரண மனத்தோடு வாழைப்பழத்தோலும் வெங்காயமும் குதிகாலில் வைத்து பத்திட்டு நித்திரையில் அடங்குவது 7, பூரணமாய் பரிபூரணமாய் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் நினைப்பும் மறப்பும் அருந்த உணர்வு ஸ்மரணையில் அகம் அகம் என ஸ்புரிக்கும் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் ஆனந்த ஸ்புரணத்தில் இருப்பது 8 எனும் 8 முறையிலும் என எண்ணியோர் அத்துணை பேருக்கும் இல்லை கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் தாக்கமும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் பயமும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் மயக்கமும் வாழ்வீர்கள் வளத்தொடு நல் ஞானம் யோகத்தொடு நாமே நிம்மோடு நானே நீயாய் நீயே நானாய் நல்வாழ்வு வாழ்வீர்கள். 8இல் 1 செய்தாலும் கொரோனா உங்களை எட்டவிடாது காப்பு.
So now we will go through the translation of what Devi Parashakti revealed to all of us. Devi Parashakti says, "O humans, do not be scared of the deadly infection corona. Through these 8 ways, praying and meditating on me, surrendering to me through social media, wherever I am residing, worshipping me by doing fire walking, applying turmeric in chest, drinking neem juice and meditating on me every day, being in unclutched state, filling with the eternal bliss, doing ajapa ajapa of the cosmic sound, with the complete mind, applying banana peel and onion in the hills and going to sleep, being in the state beyond any remembrance or forgetting in the Arunachala Spurna that blossoms at the aham in the state of Ananda Spurna." So with this guidance by Devi Parashakti, the direct instructions by Devi Parashakti, we come to the end of this segment of Bhavasamadhi Darshan, and after a short break, we will move to the next segment where we will talk about the various social media platforms through which you can connect to Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and also the various offerings, the seva that you can offer to Devi Parashakti. And then we'll go through the glimpses of the glorious past on this day, that is 6th May, and then but after a short break. So request all the viewers to be to stay tuned. We'll be back after a short break.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. I guarantee you, I will reach you wherever you are. Be alive, somehow be alive for next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. It's my commitment to humanity. I'm going to empower, enlighten each and every one of you with the fuel and energy of the parallel universe. I'll infuse this intense supernal effulgence DNA, Tejas, Ojas, Kundalini Shakti into your spine to consciously lift you to Mahakailas. It is irreversible permanent enlightenment, irreversible power manifestation, irreversible permanent empowerment. Greater signs of life can be realized with a greater ability to visualize. Greater science is the equivalent word for Hinduism. When you understand the greater science of life, greater courage, more possibility, more fearlessness, more joy, more bliss. When you visualize Paramashiva with 25 heads, 75 eyes, 50 hands, your consciousness becomes ferocious, and that ability to visualize, you will get involved in everything deeply. Involved people are the most delicious, most sweet, most beautiful, most juiciest beings of planet Earth. I am your Guru. I will make you enlightened. It's my commitment. Till you become Paramashiva, I won't rest. Don't worry at all. To all my disciples, I give you this as a boon. I'll swallow everything with which you are stuck and liberate you all. The moment you decide, your consciousness is the supreme identity you have. You will not empower your depression, your frustration, deal your problems, whether it is simple headache or depression, or the worst suicidal patterns, or life negativity, only through consciousness. Don't go for any other solution. Don't keep stupid, toxic, life negative struggles inside. Your consciousness has power at this moment to swallow, digest, clean up all negativity and all toxins. Develop a powerful will persistence. That's the most important asset for life. I am not giving you some life positive blah blah. I am giving you the facts of life. I am triggering your consciousness.